Bitcoin has been hitting high after high after high. Is Ethereum getting left behind along with the rest of the altcoin market, or is it alt's time to shine? Today we'll be discussing why I sold a lot of my Bitcoin into Ethereum over the past day. Hey guys, my name is Sheldon Evans, welcome back, or if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on all bell notifications. As you know, YouTube does often gatekeep a lot of the cryptocurrency content here on YouTube, so unless you let them know that you want to see it, you'll never be notified. On my display right now, I have the Ethereum US dollar chart open, and as you can see, Ethereum is breaking out of this ascending pattern, and we have a very clear breakout above $700. Now, I made quite an interesting trade yesterday that some people might not agree with, but I sold some of my Bitcoin into Ethereum, actually most of it. Now, the reason that I did this is not because I don't believe in Bitcoin any longer, or I don't believe that it'll continue making new highs. It's that I believe that the potential with Ethereum and the altcoin market is much higher than Bitcoin. And the reason for this is quite simple, actually. You see, Bitcoin has a lot of value, and Bitcoin is attracting a lot of new investors to the space. But in order for it to make exponential gains, it has to gain a lot more value than smaller cryptocurrencies like Ethereum and the other altcoins. Now, my ultimate goal is not to increase my dollar value of my portfolio. As you guys know, if you're in the cryptocurrency market, we don't really compare our portfolio value to that of the dollar. We compare it to that in Bitcoin terms. I'm trying to acquire and accumulate as much Bitcoin as I possibly can because that is my long-term store of value asset. So if I can make trades that will then increase my Bitcoin value over time, I'll be making more money. If I simply held Bitcoin, I would only have that specific amount of Bitcoin for an extended period of time. Although if I make trades outside of Bitcoin and increase that and then trade those profits back into Bitcoin and other altcoins, I can then make a lot more money. So we'll get back to this chart in a second. As I've said, Bitcoin is hitting high after high after high, 25K, 26, 27, $28,000. And recently it just surpassed Visa's market cap. Now, why is this quite important? Well, if we look at the largest companies by market cap, Bitcoin is making its way very quickly into that top 10 market. What does this mean, and why am I comparing it to the largest companies by market cap? Well, if we look at companies like Tesla or Alibaba or even Facebook that are under $1 trillion but above 500 billion, these are single companies that solve mostly one problem. Tesla is a little bit different. As we know, Elon is doing the things and solving many problems. But if we look at Facebook or Amazon, they're mostly solving one problem, yet the valuation of these companies is over $1 trillion. That is crazy to think that Bitcoin, a global asset, a global currency, a global store of value that anyone in the world, every single human being on this planet has access to and can invest in, is under $1 trillion. That is just insane to think about, that a single company is bigger than Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin is slowly but surely getting its time to shine, and it will eventually overtake all of these companies, and I strongly do believe this. If you're looking at global financial markets, a $1 trillion market cap is absolutely nothing. It's about 10% the market cap of gold alone. And if we equate Bitcoin to digital gold, it is better in so many ways. To transfer gold across countries, it costs you hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars. If you want to pay for something with gold, you can't. If you have gold bars, they have no use. They simply sit in a vault and store value. Although if you have Bitcoin, it's programmable gold. It's transferable gold for a fraction of the fee. If you want to transfer Bitcoin across continents, it costs you a small fee and it happens very quickly. Not as fast as some other cryptocurrencies, which we'll talk about in a second. But what I'm saying is that Bitcoin is highly undervalued, and so is the rest of the cryptocurrency market. Now, the reason that I recently sold my Bitcoin, this fantastic asset, into Ethereum is because I want to acquire more Bitcoin in the long run. So if we look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, you can see that the dominance fell steeply yesterday and broke below this trend line. And I made my trade just before we broke this at around 4:30 on the 27th of December. Now, as you can see, right after that, we broke below that trend line and Bitcoin began falling right after that, as you can see on this Bitcoin US dollar chart. On the 27th of December at 4 p.m. we started declining. Now, Bitcoin is making its way back up, and it will continue to do that, although Ethereum will outperform it. And the reason I did that is quite simple, actually. If we look at Ethereum, currently sitting at $743, I made my trade yesterday at $700. Slightly before that, we did dip down below it, but then continued the trend upwards. For Ethereum to do a 10x gain, it simply needs to get to $800 billion. Now that sounds like a lot of money, but it's got an $80 billion market cap right now. Bitcoin is currently sitting at $500 billion. And in order for Bitcoin to do a 10x, it needs to get to 5 trillion. So there's a lot more money that needs to come into the space for Bitcoin to do that 10x. And it would put Bitcoin at a price above $200,000. Ethereum simply needs to get to 7K in order to do a 10x from here. And why do I believe Ethereum has so much potential right now? Well, we're not even at the all-time high yet. As you know, Bitcoin has been hitting the all-time high and creating new highs over the past week, but Ethereum is still far behind and often lags behind that of Bitcoin. So we do have a lot of confidence that Ethereum will eventually regain its all-time high and then surpass it. And simply to get to the all-time high, we already have over 100% gain from here. So I personally believe that it was a smart move for me to move some of my Bitcoin into Ethereum. Now there's quite a few metrics that we can look at when making these trades to get a better understanding of when and why I sell, or when and why you should sell. So the great thing about cryptocurrency, as you know, is it's all on the blockchain, meaning every transaction is visible. You understand who is holding, how many people are holding wallets, and how many people are in profit. We can do on-chain analysis to see exactly what is going on in the world of crypto. Now you can get this information for free if you visit CoinMarketCap and take a look at Bitcoin. Currently sitting at just over $27,000, 98% of all holders of Bitcoin are in profit right now. So what does that mean? Well, it can mean two things. It can go either way. But I personally believe that when so many people are in profit, some people are going to start taking profits, especially those who have been holding for a long period of time. As you can see, holders composition by time held, 64% of Bitcoin holders have been holding Bitcoin for over a year. Now, this could be people who have been stuck in a trade for a year or even longer, who bought at a high and have just been waiting to sell to get out. But there are new traders who have bought at the newer high that then forms a support, which will then move us further along. Now, from these metrics, you can derive some actionable steps or signals. As you can see right now, it's got a bearish signal, just as I said, because most people are in profit, so many people might be looking to take profit right now. Although, let's take a look at Ethereum. As you can see, most people are in profit right now, around 90%, although many people are out of profit as well. Those from the $700 range, around where we are right now, to the $1,300, $1,400 range, our all-time high. Now, until we reach that all-time high, people might not be taking profits, especially people who haven't been in profit for a very long period of time. So we could establish new support levels as we start moving towards these previous all-time highs that we hit in 2017. I personally won't be taking profit on my Ethereum until we surpass the previous all-time high. As you guys saw with Bitcoin, when we surpass those all-time highs, or when we start getting close to them, we simply snap between those levels. From 20,000 to 21,000, we moved quite slowly. 21 to 22, we moved faster. 22 to 25, we moved even faster. And 25 up, we moved even faster. These moves are parabolic. So as we start getting to these higher price points, it becomes more volatile and more risky to continue holding, because we could see a crash at any second. Right now, Ethereum has a steady move up, and I believe it will continue to do that as we start moving to previous all-time highs. Yes, Bitcoin will increase in value. I do believe that we'll continue making new all-time highs for Bitcoin as time goes by. And my next target for Bitcoin is the $29,500 value. And the reason that I say that is the next Fibonacci level for us. You can see that our next Fib level is around the $30,000 level, but slightly below it. Now, the psychological level would be 30K, because there are a lot of humans involved in the market, and at the 30K level, people will start taking profits and selling. And as you can see, we're in quite a parabolic move right now. We have been having a major uptrend since the 10K level a few months ago, and we're simply going vertical. And when we get vertical, there's going to reach a point where it has to come crashing down. Now, I do believe we will see a retracement after we hit the 30K or close to the 30K level. It could be 29, it could be $29,500, but I'm happy taking profits right now and moving my Bitcoin into Ethereum, because we have more room to grow in Ethereum and more room to grow in altcoins. Now, why did I move my Bitcoin into Ethereum and not other altcoins? Well, Ethereum is another safe bet. As you guys know, most of the cryptocurrency market is based on Ethereum. if we open CoinGecko, you'll see that there are tons of cryptocurrencies that are built on Ethereum. They're ERC20 tokens, meaning the underlying asset or the underlying network is Ethereum. And over time, the network effect of Ethereum is growing stronger and stronger and stronger, even though there are other alternatives out there, as I mentioned in my previous videos about Zilliqa, which I'm very bullish on as well. And since I mentioned it in the previous video, we've done a bit of a vertical run. So congratulations to those of you who have made some good gains. And Zilliqa is a competitor to Ethereum. Faster transactions, they're the first crypto to implement layer 2 sharding, making the transaction speed very, very fast, something that we've been waiting a long time for Ethereum with Ethereum 2.0, which eventually will come, but Zilliqa is beating them to it. And that's why we are seeing this major rise in the price of Zilliqa, almost at $1 billion market cap right now. Now, I could be putting my crypto into Zilliqa and these other smaller altcoins, but why Ethereum? While I am very bullish on Ethereum long term because of its network effect. We've seen time and time again, developers keep choosing Ethereum, even though there are other cryptocurrencies out there that they could choose instead. We have other chains coming along like Polkadot, but the ease of use and network adoption of Ethereum is already there, so it makes it a very big contender to compete with. Hence, other cryptocurrencies struggling to gain adoption. The same goes for Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a massive network effect, tons of psychological power behind it. Many people are talking about it. It's on news all around the world. Yet there are many faster, better versions of Bitcoin with more features. People still choose Bitcoin. And that's what's happening with Ethereum. Although I am allocating a small part of my portfolio to these other altcoins, I'm not risking my main Bitcoin investment in these smaller altcoins. Now, how do I know which cryptocurrencies to choose when I want to allocate a small percentage of my portfolio to these microcap gems, if I really do want to increase that value of my portfolio and gain more Bitcoin over the long term? Well, there's a technique that you can use that I call the big brother technique. And you look for cryptos in the space that have a big brother that they're looking to take on. As I've just mentioned with Zilliqa and Ethereum, Ethereum is the big brother. So for Zilliqa to come in and take a small percentage of that market share is quite easy, especially if they're solving similar problems. And the same can be said for something like MakerDAO and Kava. MakerDAO currently has a market cap of $500 million, and they had an all-time high market cap of around $1 billion. Now, when Kava enters the room at only $64 million, they simply have to 10x to get to the price of Maker right now. Whereas in order for Maker to do a 10x, they're going to have to get to $5 billion, which would put it almost in the top 10 cryptocurrencies right below Chainlink, which is currently at $5 billion. So it's a lot easier for these smaller or microcap gems to really skyrocket and increase in value, and you'll be able to take those profits and transfer them back into Bitcoin, into your long-term store of value hold. That is what I'm doing personally. Obviously, this is not financial advice. Do whatever you want to do, but I'm just sharing my strategy with you. I have many videos showing you exactly how to find these cryptocurrencies, how to find cryptos that have these potential massive 100x, 1000x gains. And if you haven't yet, join my Patreon. That's where I do post most of these as well. But if you guys want me to make another video on my top altcoin gems, let me know down in the comments below and I'll get right on that. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and as always, I shall see you in the next video. Cheers.